All right, welcome to the cockpit. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot tonight. I'm here, gonna talk to you for about an hour. No Dom C tonight. He's got a prior commitment, so I'll be flying solo. So we'll be talking a little bit to the chat, talking a little bit to the, maybe we'll do some call-ins, things along that nature. Figure we'll go for about an hour. Want to get your guys' thoughts on the Justin Fields tape. I did put out the every throw if you guys had a chance to take a look at that. We've had a night to digest what we saw, and what we saw was not very good. It's a pretty abysmal showing by our New York Jets. It's a little frustrating, not going to lie. Are the Jets closer to week 1 or are they closer to week 2? Are the Steelers a better team or a worse team than we expected coming into the season? Are the Bills, I shouldn't say better than expected. Bills are probably going to be a top 4 team in this league. It's going to be, probably them and the Ravens coming down at the end of the season for the AFC. But what were your thoughts on the Bills and everything else that went on? We could talk about some of the individual performances or lack thereof, who you blame, who you don't blame. I do have a poll question in the chat. You guys vote on that. The loss is mainly on, you could vote Aaron Glenn, Michael Clemens, Justin Fields, or other, and you can comment in the chat. I'm curious to see what everyone else has to think on this one, because I don't think a lot of us are feeling very happy tonight. A little frustrating. We do have a game going on as we're talking right now, a little Monday Night Football. It's halftime of the Bucs-Texans game. Bucs are winning 14-10 at the current moment. There's going to be another game later on tonight. I want to say it starts at like 10 o'clock. Going to be Chargers and Raiders. A few things we can kind of keep an eye on as we go. Joe Burrow will undergo toe surgery out a minimum of 3 months. Damn it! I got Burrow on one of my teams. I got Jamar Chase on another team. That's not fun. That's not fun. It's not a good time if you're Ryan in the fantasy world. Let's go to Billy. Billy says 4 of our first 5 opponents are playoff teams. We are not favored to win these games. Jets will start 1-4 and be 5-5. Or will be 5-5 at game 10. 8-7 with 2 weeks to go against the Pats and Bills. Go Jets. That feels probably realistic to start. What is it? We got the Dolphins as probably the only other team that's not a playoff team. So we've got Jets. It was Steelers, Bills, Bucks next week. I think it's Dolphins that following week, and then who's that next week? I gotta pull it up. Panthers. That can't be right. What am I looking at here? Jets. Oh, there we go. Okay, Bucks, Dolphins, Cowboys. That's the game I'm forgetting. And then you still have Broncos, who admittedly I thought were going to be better than they're currently playing right now. Panthers, I think, are as expected. Bengals without Burrow is going to change things. Browns are coming to the Jets November 9th. That changes the calculus a little bit. And then you got Jets Patriots, Jets Ravens, Falcons. You know what? There's some opportunities. The schedule did get a little bit easier because of the Burrow injury now. But I would still like to play these teams at full strength because I want to give ourselves a good litmus test of what we're seeing. Gangrene, what's up, dude? Says oral surgery today, game yesterday, which hurts more. Ooh, oral surgery today or Jets game yesterday. I'm going to say Jets game yesterday hurt more. I was talking to anybody that I know is a Jet fan today at work, and they were all saying the same thing. Super pissed. Like, dude, week 1, they had me bought back in. Week 2, they just throw it right back in my face. It's funny, our group buy person for the Talkin' Jets group buy, anyone who bought tickets for the Steelers game, meaning like any group, so like the Talkin' Jets crew, that would also like to buy tickets for a future game, meaning Jets Browns specifically, they're like, we're going to do a BOGO. It'll be buy one, get one free. We have to get at least 6 tickets. But then, you know, it winds up dropping the price, which is kind of nice. I told my ticket sales agent, I was like, I'll talk to people, but I don't know. Those tickets can sometimes be worth about the price of a beer by the time they come around. So while it looks like a great deal right now, buy one, get one free, I'm not so sure it's going to look that way, you know, a month from now. So I am going to redial my expectations back to where they were at the start prior to week one, where I'm just team entertain me. Just entertain me on a week-to-week basis. Yesterday's game was not entertaining. You failed across the board. Aaron says, do you see a win on this schedule if the defense is not fixed up? Shake my head. I mean, I've been saying all season we're going to get 6 wins. I'm going to stand by that prediction right now until proven otherwise. Jets play more like week one, we're going to have more wins than that. Jets play more like they played yesterday, we're going to have a lot less wins. It's going to be an ugly, ugly set of circumstances for our New York Jets. I'm not super thrilled either way it goes on this. We'll see. See how it all plays out. Let's see. We've got Andrew. Boom. I don't know if you're saying blow it up. Wild wave. Loss is on everyone from top to bottom except for that defensive tackle. Yeah, Quinnen looked like he played well. I don't even know what was our PFF grades. I feel like that's not super huge, but would be interested to know. I'll rattle off what our top stats were by team. New York Jets, Buffalo. Ugh, this is not looking good. All right, offensive grades. Top player, Tyrod Taylor, 88.9. Not great. Our worst player on offense, Justin Fields, 30.7. Shocker. I don't know. What's the key? What's the star mean? Star. They don't have a star in there. S is for starter with a star next to it. The next guys after Tyrod Taylor, Jeremy Ruckert, who caught a touchdown to end the game in garbage time. Then you got the offensive line, led by Josh Myers, Armand Membu, and John Simpson. So the interior part of I shouldn't say interior. Actually, I guess it's kind of all over because you got center, right tackle, left guard were the top guys. 66, 63, 62. Then it drops into the 60s, and you're talking Garrett Wilson is that next player up. Max Mitchell had 1 snap. Andrew Beck had 1 snap, so not a whole lot going on there. Breece Hall under a 60 with a 59.5. Alan Lazard, Arian Smith, Olu had himself a not-so-great day in terms of blocking, according to PFF. Tippmann a little bit worse, coming in at 45.7. So just a really ugly performance by the Jets offense. On the defensive side, Jawan Briggs, that was that young defensive tackle that we got from the Browns in a nice late-round trade. I liked him coming in. He looked pretty good. I was pretty happy with that. So 88.7. He did have a sack, if I do remember. Yeah, sack, hit, hurry, 3 tackles, 2 assists. Looking pretty solid. Andre Cisco comes in at number 2 with a 78.8. Sauce Gardner, 69.9. Quincy Williams, 69 flat. Sherwood, 66.7. Where's Quinnen Williams? Quinnen Williams a lot lower. Not lower on this list. Quinnen Williams came in at 51.5. 1 total pressure. That was 1 hurry. He had 1 tackle, 1 missed tackle, and 1 assist. I would imagine the missed tackle probably hurts your tackling performance when you only have 3 tackles. So not a good day. Will McDonald, second to last on the defense, 32 overall. He had a missed tackle. 10 missed tackles yesterday. Andre Cisco, 2. Sauce, 1. Quincy, 2. Sherwood, 1. Jermaine Johnson, 1. Malachi Moore, 1. Quinnen Williams, 1. And Will McDonald, 1. Ugly, ugly performance by the Jets defense. Cook had himself a day. He had I think it was 130 yards or 120 yards. And what was it, 2 touchdowns? 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns? Not ideal. if you're the New York Jets. Team overall looked poor. Sean says, Clemens seems like a guy you want, but he's just dumb as bricks. Yeah, we've seen this multiple times over the last few years where this guy just cannot get out of his own way. Can't get out of his own way. Causes penalties. That late hit, well, very early on in this game, and there were plenty of other things to be upset about throughout the game. It felt like that late hit on Josh Allen to go from 3rd and 19 to a 1st and 10 that eventually turned into a touchdown just felt like it sucked the life right out of us. And then, of course, you get the Fields fumble. I think it was the next possession. Really just a shitty way to go about this game. I don't think Clemens should be here. I would like to see him get released tomorrow. I believe they have a rest day today after the game, so they should be able to get back in the room tomorrow. But yeah, I don't think Clemens provides anything to this team that is of value right now. Like there's a very strong lack of that's a weird way to say that. There is a lack of depth at the defensive end position, which is the only reason why I think he's on the roster to begin with. I think it's purely out of necessity. $3.5 million is salary cap savings that you would have prior to week 1. Now it's probably, call it $3 million, maybe a tick over that. But I would move off Michael Clemens. I think this is an egregious enough penalty. There's a long history of him having stupid penalties. And at the very least, you're going to go into, another accountability phase for Aaron Glenn. And you're going to, see some young guys that are going to make mistakes. They're going to have issues. McGregor, you're going to have, all the guys. Barron going to be able to step up into more playing time. And I'd rather see the playing time and make the mistakes this year than have to rely on guys next year, because we're not going to re-sign Michael Clemens. He's in the final year of his contract. He's gone after this year. So I'm in an evaluation stage, and I'm fine with doing that. Billy, watching the Bucs game, trying to see what the Jets might do next Sunday against them. Yeah, I'm interested. I admittedly have not watched the first half. I just put it on. So give me an idea. Give me a synopsis of what you've seen so far. Entire organization is a loss. Fields was terrible. Missing Garrett Wilson, missing Taylor, throwing behind Isaiah Davis. Yeah, I thought Fields had a really bad day. I thought there were plays where he had guys open pretty consistently, and he was either late to the read, couldn't make the throw. I think it was more of an indictment on Fields than most other people in the offense. I'd have to see what the snap to pressure rate was, but it seemed like he had like an all right amount of time. I don't know how many sacks. Did it say how many sacks they had? Let's go to Buffalo. Buffalo had 5 sacks. Bosa leading the way with a 95.8. 1 sack, 1 hit, 5 hurries. You don't want to see that. Ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly for the New York Jets. NYC Superfan. We need to continue to trust Aaron Glenn. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was built daily. We as fans need to be patient on what he's trying to build. Yeah, I agree. I'm not calling for Aaron Glenn's head or anything like that. I thought the entire team came out undisciplined. I think the penalty from Clemens and the lack of accuracy from Fields exacerbated the issues that the Jets had. Neither of those things stopped the missed tackles from Sauce or from Quinnen or Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson. Did Quincy have a miss? I don't know if Quincy had a missed tackle, but those things are focus issues. They're player issues. So we're going to have to clearly have the players play to a different level. Being ready to play is on the coaching staff. I thought they came out and looked flat. For all the excitement and all the preparation that we gave them credit for last week, I would say the exact opposite this week. It was a disappointment across the board. NY Jets fan 4. Yesterday's loss was on the entire team and coaches. Sauce is overrated. Fields isn't a quarterback. AG rookie. Head coach mistakes. Wilkes sucks. I'm not ready to go there on Wilkes just yet. We're going to see rookie head coaching mistakes from Aaron Glenn. It's going to happen. Fields isn't a quarterback. Look, he's a very up and down quarterback that we've seen over the last few years. And I thought yesterday was the last 2 weeks, let's call it a week encapsulated. You see the highest of highs of what he can be, and you see the lowest of lows of what he can be. So you had the fumble that we lost yesterday that led to points for the Bills. The week before, he played damn near a flawless game. So if you can get more of the first week and less of the second week, you're trending in the right direction. But I would say there's a reason why the Jets did not trade for Micah Parsons, aside from the contract and giving up Quinnen. It's because we're going to need that first-round pick more than likely to draft a quarterback. So it was rough. As far as Sauce being overrated, I disagree. I mean, you want to give him a little bit of shit for, like, not always being perfect. That's fine, but the dude's a two-time All-Pro and, you know, is quite literally one of the best corners in the league. So I'm not going to get on his case about that. Peter says, it certainly felt like the same old Jets, but I am nowhere near being out on Glenn and this team. Maybe Tyrod provides a spark Sunday. Do we know, is Fields out for the Bucs game? Is that actually a thing? Like, is Tyrod definitely starting? I didn't watch a whole lot of recaps as far as news goes for the Jets, so I don't know where the concussion protocol is on Fields at the current moment. Wild Wave says, Lazard is the only person I would advocate for his release. Piss poor effort. Honestly, Brandon Stevens, I can't really say I'd release him, but I was super pissed. I don't know who looked at this guy's effort and was like, yeah, $36 million, this is the guy. This guy right here. That long run by Cook, dude, I almost posted at the time. I was like, that looks like Stevens pulled up. Like, he was not giving it his all. He was not running full steam. And, like, I thought he had the angle on Cook. There's another angle that looks maybe not so favorable, but, like, you can't put that on tape. They're going to be looking at film, and they're going to be like, what the hell was that? I hope he gets chewed out. I don't think he should start. Maybe you move him to safety, and you let AZ, Thomas, or Stigger start at corner just to see if you could create a spark. Lazard's someone that I also agree with is not going to be here next year, so if you wanted to move off of him, I got no issues with that either. I don't think the Bills game changes anything. Whatever games we would win this season isn't affected by it. Yeah, look, Jets played like they did a week ago against the Steelers. I still don't think they're winning versus the Bills. I thought they were going to keep it respectable. I thought we were going to have an opportunity to run the ball. Like, I thought it played perfectly into our hand. And that is not the case. This was just a flat-out embarrassing loss, especially to a division rival that you just hope to, like, consistently play tough. Harlan says, come on, people, hit the like button. Come on, hit that like button for me. I enjoy having you guys here. Besides Sauce, I feel the DBs are not man corners. They got to switch it up. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could always do, like, some sort of, I guess you could do zone. I want to see Sauce man up the main target. If you can find a way to do that consistently, that's fine. How did the O-lineman grade out? Not good. Membu, Myers, Simpson were the three best offensive linemen, all grading. I think it was a 65 or 69, something like that. Like middle of the pack for PFF. Olu and Tittman, not good. Bad day for those two. How many unearned points did the Jets hand the Bills on Sunday? Like 13 points. So the Bills actually put up 17 points on the Jets. I mean, after putting up 41 on the Ravens. Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to say in my post game. Was the stats didn't indicate how I felt the defense really played. Now, there's a lot of missed tackles. There's a lot of stuff to clean up on defense. But like Josh Allen, I think barely broke 200 yards. I think he was like, was it 204 maybe? So, like, not like a crazy performance. Receivers, I think their top receiver had like 46 yards. 50 yards maybe. Cook had himself a day. Cook had 120, 130 yards, whatever it was. It was the big plays. Jets couldn't stop. There was a huge run by Josh Allen that, eventually led to points, and you have Cook that ripped off the long run as well. So the explosive plays are hurting the Jets, and just the ineffectiveness of the offense. When you're punting so early after, a 3 and out, you get a turnover, like all these things just stack against you, and you're just giving more opportunities to a team that shouldn't have more opportunities. The Bills are a lethal team. We built this team to go against the Bills to like eat clock and keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hand, and that's clearly not what happened. What was the time of possession? time of possession, the Jets had 21 minutes and 39 seconds. The Bills had 38-21. Nearly double the time of possession. It's pretty damn close. A minute 39 separates double the time of possession for the Bills. They did exactly what we needed to do. Disappointing. Moore is getting into the game more. Yeah, not Ashton Davis, sorry. Tony Adams came out of the game, so I think Moore hopped in his place. I would like to see Malachi Moore more consistently. Jets should play the young players more. Jets should see what they have. I agree. Completely agree. Michael Clemens was penalty was a BS call. He was laughing prior to the pass being thrown, but Jets fans always overreact. I don't know if that's a bullshit penalty. Like, I think Allen sold it 100%. He's one of the biggest floppers in the NFL. He's like LeBron James from the standpoint of like, okay, you're physically imposing and you can do anything you want to like almost any player in the league. And you're one of the best players in the league. But, dude, you throw yourself down like a kicker. It's embarrassing. Like, I love watching Josh Allen play on most weeks. But when I see the flop like that, it's like, dude, you just, like, why can't you be tough? Stop being, like, such a pansy. But Michael Clemens hit, that was late. Now, I'm sorry, that was late. He clearly saw him throw the ball. And I'm just going to keep running at him. Bonehead. Absolute bonehead play. Did you see him block Dane? What did Dano talk about? I don't know who you're talking about. Lazard, maybe? He let Trey White get the Fields from getting a first down and tackle on Breece in the backfield. I saw the tackle on Breece in the backfield. It was a bad, not so much it was a bad block, but like the corner just came ripping through, like had no thought that Lazard was remotely going to try and run a route. So I don't know if that's play design or like not even attempting to make it look like it might be a throw. But that corner read that play fast, and unless like Lazard's running kind of backwards to get that block, I'm not going to give him too much shit for the Breece one. That guy just made a great read. Bucks have a very up-tempo passing game, but the Texans' D-line is getting to Mayfield pretty good. Texans have a pretty good D-line. Spent some high-caliber picks on there. I'd love to see the Jets get after Baker next week. You guys know I'm a big Baker fan. That's who I wanted that draft. Incel Allen. Jets organization made a mistake by not saying rebuild during the offseason. Is this a joke? This is just a joke, right? Like, just like they're always going to say, oh, we're going to be competitive. This is absolutely a rebuild. Maybe not a full rebuild, but this is 100% a evaluation year, which is why I don't think they're going to spend much money in draft picks. I don't think they're going to spend much money in free agent acquisitions at this point. I think we're going to ride or die with the young guys, and we are going to bottom out, most likely, with not a very good record at the end of the year. 6 wins is sort of what I predicted. I think we're going to get a top 10 pick. The Jets are going to be going for a quarterback. Tyrod going to pull out the upset? Yeah, look, I like Tyrod Taylor. If he stays healthy and he plays the full game, I think it's entirely possible that the Jets can beat the Bucs. I don't think that's a far-fetched thing at all. If you wanted to tell me that you thought Tyrod Taylor was the best quarterback on this roster, I wouldn't really disagree with you. I think he's the most stable of the quarterbacks. I think Justin Fields has the highest ceiling, but he also has a far lower floor than Tyrod. So yeah, I'm hoping Tyrod plays well. Admittedly, I don't really care if we win with Tyrod. I guess I want to see wins because I think it's good for this team to start stacking some wins. I'm not looking for tanking for a quarterback or anything like that. But it does mean a little bit less to me. Like, I get frustrated when we win games because of players that aren't going to be here in the future in a season that's kind of like, if you will. And that's sort of how I would feel Tyrod is. But we're early enough in the season for that to not be a huge issue on my thoughts. Wild Wave. Clemens is on the team because they need bodies. Team has no depth. Well, it's a rebuild. 2 years tops. It sucks. Genergy. Is Tyrod starting Sunday? I know Fields in the concussion protocol. If he's still in concussion protocol by Wednesday, I would think we're probably getting Tyrod. we stop with this Tampa offense? Can we stop this Tampa offense? I don't think so. I think Tampa's offense is really good. I don't think the Jets are going to be able to stop it right now. I thought that the OC wasn't prepared for a cornerback run blitz. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Fields should have checked into some kind of blocking scheme or something. I don't really know how you prepare for that particular play unless the quarterback changes it after the alignment's shown. This loss is on the entire team. As of right now, our poll question for tonight, this loss is mainly on Aaron Glenn leading the way with 35% of the vote. Justin Fields has 27. Other is probably going to be a whole team comment at 26. And then Michael Clemens is 12%. So Aaron Glenn being the head coach and this coming out flat, I would say Glenn should be to blame for this particular game. The change won't happen overnight. I agree. Sith says, Bills just scored again. Well, shut up. 10 Bears. Team is not in position right now. Bills are top team. Who is second receiver? They were 8 in the box, and everybody looked bad. Loss is a loss. Yeah, look, we don't have a number 2 wide receiver right now. I've been saying all year it's going to be wide receiver 2 by committee. That could be Brees. It could be Mason Taylor. It could be Arian Smith, Lazard, Reynolds. Insert whoever you want there. But realistically, this team's just not, we're built for the run. If I was another team, I would be loading 8 in the box consistently, double up Garrett, and just say, Fields, get the ball to where you think you can. Just dare him to beat you with his arm. Don't let him beat you with the legs. That's the formula to win against the Jets right now. Coach's second game and already come out flat, brutal. Yeah, it's like we played our Super Bowl week 1 and then just stink the following week. Take a look real quick. I'll give you guys the sleeper rankings for our pick'em. But before I do that, I do want to acknowledge the sponsor of the channel, Sleeper. I had here are my picks on this side right here. I had Brees Hall over 54.5 rushing yards. Did not hit. Justin Fields 40.5 rushing yards. Actually did all right. Wound up having, he had the 140-yard run, and that's basically what got me that one. Josh Allen did not go over 235 passing yards, and Coleman did not go over 46.5 receiving yards. So I did not win myself any money at all. Think you know football? Then try to turn your football knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick more or less on your favorite players. With more stats than any other daily fantasy app, just choose 2 or more of your favorite players from pregame or live. Pick more or less from the predicted stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money if your picks win. Use promo code JETSTALK, and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Thank you so much for sponsoring the channel. Jets clearly want me to lose all my betting. That's what it is. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna start hitting the unders. I'm gonna start hitting the unders on all these bets because I'd rather lose money and have our Jets do well. It's sort of my thinking behind picking the Jets to lose every week. Because if I pick the Jets to lose every week, then if they win, I don't care about the pick'em loss. That's fine. But if they lose, and I've picked them to win, now I'm double angry. Let me know if you guys are in that same mindset when you do stuff. Genergy, definitely need to give him time. Completely agree. Glenn needs time. He needs Wilkes to change up the D. I mean, it might take a little bit of time in general just to get them, in the right mindset. It might just take longer than 2 games to implement a defense. Get ready for the ride. I want off this roller coaster. I still believe in AG, but we need to win. It's a tough time to be a Jets fan. you finally have some opportunities to be excited about some young players. And the quarterback, the coaching, everything. We just ran up against one of the toughest teams in the league. Hopefully what we saw yesterday was not more of things to come. Cameron! Glenn needs to take back the play calling. Oh, sorry. Glenn needs to take back the play calling. Back from Wilkes, Colin. Yeah, we can do Colin. I'll do I'm gonna rip through a few of these, then maybe 9 o'clock to 9:30. I'll do a little call-in action if anyone wants to talk a little bit. Just want to get your thoughts through the chat. See what you guys are, how you guys are feeling. Afterburners Podcast says, why do the Jets always hire from the same unemployment line of head coaches? This has all the signs of a complete reset at the end of 2026. We've seen these reruns before. I don't think they're going to hit reset that fast. Like, they're going to draft a quarterback next year. They're going to see if he can play. I think Tanner Engstrand is the right offensive coordinator. I like his pedigree. Even yesterday, I liked the play calls for the most part. I thought the players and Fields didn't execute. Fields missed open guys consistently or had bad throws. So I don't think we're going to see a reset. And as far as unemployment line, Glenn was just like on one of the best teams in the league last year. He wasn't getting fired from the Lions. We picked him up. Stole him off their team. Baker chased down and sacked again. Yeah, I've seen it twice. Once was a sack. The other one, he actually got the ball off. He kind of did a Superman thing just now. Who will be the backup to Tyrod? Whoever it is, you know he'll be playing as well on Sunday. Yeah, look, Tyrod gets hurt. So Brady Cook is probably going to be called up from the practice squad. And it's not going to be great. I do not want to see Brady Cook in. Aaron says, I like Green Bean's take on Glenn. Understands what we fans are going through. I believe he can turn this around. I completely agree. I'm not out on Glenn at all. I still like the hire right now. I think he embodies what fans feel. I think you need a quarterback for sure. I think he's going to have his coaching mistakes and gaffes throughout the year. But I believe in the coaching staff right now. End of the season, maybe I'll feel a little less confident. but right now, I'm okay with it. Genergy, no expectations, no record predictions. I just want competitive football at this point. Yes, Jen, yes. Just give me something that I can be prideful of to watch week in and week out. Don't make me feel like I'm burning away my Sundays. Like, we got to halftime, and I was like, man, this game sucks. Got through the first quarter, and I was like, I got to watch 3 more quarters of this? This stinks. My Justin Fields every throw video normally does really well. When you have 3 completions, it's not going to do well. And when you have your quarterback exit the game just after halftime, that's not going to bode well either. Mr. Roberts, Justin Fields couldn't hit the broadside of a barn yesterday. No, he couldn't hit water if he was in a boat. That was ugly. I hate Elijah Moore, by the way. Yeah, so do I. I don't like him. He's a prick. I just want to know why the NFL keeps handing us these buzzsaw schedules where we face these playoff teams all bunched up on our schedule. It doesn't matter. You still got to play them at some point. I mean, we're going to get the Bengals a little bit later, and the Bengals just lost their quarterback for the season, or at least like a large chunk of the season. Bucks could be, whatever. I think the Packers, or not the Packers, the Steelers, everyone projected to be pretty solid, but they could have been a coin flip. Panthers don't seem very good. The Dolphins don't seem very good. Dallas is going to be good. But the Jets are a bad team. We're going to play no matter who we have first or second or third or fourth, all the way through 17th. Like, we're going to play the Bills final week of the season. There's a good shot they might be resting their starters. God, that would burn me up if we win that final game because they're resting starters. I don't even want to think about it. Ugh. Oh, that's not nice, Sith. The Jets look good this year from Helen Keller. Sometimes ignorance is bliss. Josh Allen and Mahomes also flopper. Yeah, I don't really. I like Allen more than I like Mahomes. Allen just pisses me off because he's so big and still flops. I guarantee if they took an x-ray of Michael Clemens' head, you'd see a bird in there with lots of room like in the cartoons. You know, I've heard this one thing that was said, and I always get a good chuckle out of it. For the way Michael Clemens plays the game of football, not smart. I would say he's got 2 brain cells in there fighting for 3rd place. Think about that. 10 Bear says QB would be a stupid move. QB? I don't know. I think QB is going to be the right move to make in the draft. I mean, who knows? Maybe Fields balls out and it's, you know, we're not thinking that way. But I'd rather Fields play under fire the way the Packers drafted, you know, Love during the Rodgers era. I'm okay with having 2 quarterbacks on the roster. It's a fact. We have to play the team and the refs. Yeah, there was a few times where, like, Fields got popped on the slide. And the fact that there was no passing or no roughing the passer or, you know, roughing the player that's giving himself up, insane. Insane. That's 2 weeks in a row. Please show up because it's Tampa's home opener. That stadium will be lit. Yeah, I would imagine the Bucs are going to come out firing. They're going to be pretty excited playing in front of that home crowd. V-Man, if we see more games like this, I'll need more rum. My Puerto Rican friend, already drinking like a fish. Love you, V-Man. If they start playing like this, it's going to make my Sundays very easy because I'm not going to put a whole lot of effort into making a whole crazy ton of content. It's going to be, here's the every throw video. Here's my thoughts. I'm going to go hang out with my family now. That's where I land when they treat me like this. If Fields could actually throw the ball with accuracy, no one would be talking about BS penalty with Clemens. Fields having a concussion is going to be a blessing in disguise. Yeah, I mean, if Tyrod looks really good while Fields is out, how do they handle that? Like, do they continue to ride the hot hand of Tyrod and say, oh, Fields needs another week, and then see how it goes? And who knows? Maybe they're riding that. I don't know how it goes. Bada Bing says, we're getting Archie Manning. I'm not even so sure that's a great thing. He's looked terrible. Through 3 weeks of play, he has not looked good. I would say he's definitely staying in school another year. You got to hear Joe Beningo on the Jets. Glenn played not to lose. He went for a field goal because he was afraid to be shut out. I mean, the fact that they punted it when we were down by so much is bonkers to me. You go for it on 2 on the scoring touchdown week 1, and then you tuck your tail and put it between your legs this week. I don't get it. Oh, hey, what's up, dude? Is this Mario or Paul? Either way, go follow #sports. They're good guys over there. I blame the loss on both tackles on the offensive side. Membu actually had a halfway decent day, but man, Bosa feasted on the Jets. We did not have a good showing. What about the Mexican QB from Mexican QB at Tennessee? I'll be honest, I don't know who it is. Who is the Tennessee quarterback? Joey Aguilar. Is that who you're talking about? I'll be honest, I haven't... is that who it is? Quarterback Joey Aguilar. Thrust into a massive stage, came in against Georgia, however, still wasn't enough. Aguilar has now amassed 906 yards and 9 touchdowns through just 3 games. He's on pace for an absurd 3,600 yards and 36 touchdowns. I mean, I will definitely have to watch more of him. I've not watched any Tennessee. I'll be honest. But I'm interested. Yo, what's good, Isaac? Says, not even disappointed. My expectations were so low coming into the season. Yeah, I'll be honest. Playing yesterday felt more like what I was expecting this year than what the Jets had given us through week 1. And I agree. I am also numb to this crap. Hashtag I have been upset at people getting on Fields. He has 8 starts in the past 2 years. Yeah, I mean, he is kind of the quarterback we sort of expected. Like, what we got yesterday was just the roller coaster low of Fields. I hope he just plays closer to week 1 than he does play closer to week 2. That should be a late hit. Are they going to throw it? They're not throwing the flag. Just having Michael Clemens on the team tells me Glenn is not smart. I mean, whoever made that final decision of having Clemens and Gibson on this team is fucking asinine. Like, there's no point at the last 2 years where you could look at and be like, oh, both of these guys deserve to be on this roster over players 54 and 55, whoever they were. Clemens, the only thing I can sort of understand with Clemens is because we have no edge depth at all. But I do not like this. Rico says, I knew a dud like this was going to happen. Our team is predicated on establishing the run. There will be some duds this season. I accept that. It's the penalties that drive me nuts. Yeah, and the Jets were actually not crazy on penalties. 5 for 35. They were just super inopportune. So we really had 4 for 20. So it was a bunch of 5-yard variety penalties. So probably like a defensive holding in there. I think Sauce had one of those. You had false starts, offensive, offsides on the defense or whatever. They were the 5-yard variety outside of the Clemens hit. Either way, just friggin' stupid. The damage is done. They hired an inept coach, D coordinator, and quarterback. It's over. I'm not calling the coach inept through one week, really, is what it is. We saw 2 games in the stretch of the 1 week. I can't do that. How about Moore doing backflips on the Jets logo because he scored a touchdown? Made me sick. I don't care, at all. At all. Elijah Moore, I don't think is a very good football player. So he does a backflip. Cool. Good for him. You like calling a reverse at midfield after picking up the first. I don't love the reverse. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Mason Taylor who did he just whiffed on the block? Just ran right past the guy that tackled the ball carrier. He did it like a spin around to go as if he's blocking for the ball carrier. But there was a guy that was right next to him that he just let go by. I believe that should have been his block. I didn't love that play execution. I don't particularly love that play in general. I'd rather keep things moving forward than going behind the line. But I don't think the play is necessarily a terrible thing on first down. If a coach was worse than Glenn, what would it look like? Yesterday, it would be kind of tough. It would be kind of tough. Fields reverted back to his old form against Buffalo. Yeah, they put him in hero ball situation. I don't like seeing that. Jets have to be able to run the ball. We didn't run the ball well. What did we have on a per yard basis? Do I have that? I think I got it. So the Jets, outside, Arian Smith obviously had the negative 10-yard run on the end around. Breece Hall, 10 carries, 29 yards, 2.9 yards a carry. Tyrod Taylor had 3 runs. I don't really want to count that. Braylon Allen had 2 runs for 11 yards. So 5.5. Yeah, really not good. Basically 12 rushes for 40 yards. That's pretty ugly. Pretty shitty, if I do say so myself. If the Jets draft a quarterback in the next draft, it should not be in the first round. It depends how good the draft is looking, how good those quarterbacks. I would have no problem with the Jets using a first-round pick or using their first-round pick on a top player and then trading into the back end of the first. I would be fine with that too. Draft talk already, Cornelius. Yes, of course. We're always talking draft, unfortunately. Fields needs the gloves. he was wearing week 1. Was he wearing gloves yesterday? I feel like you would. Maybe he wasn't. Buffalo is league champion as well as Kansas City with Kansas City floundering. NFL is WWE. You have to earn the right to headline. Bills are going to be, it's going to be Bills Ravens in the AFC Championship game. So I'm not going to, even if the Jets played really well yesterday, I would have still said the Jets are probably not winning. Sharon, you're making my brain cells fight each other. I like that one. I like you have 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place. That's always a fun one. Even if Fields turns it around, I want to draft a quarterback. I've been saying that for a while. Now, admittedly, after last week's game, I was like, man, if this guy plays like this all season, or at least 85% of the season looks like this, it makes it a lot harder of a decision to make. But I like the idea of drafting a quarterback and then just letting Fields prove us wrong. Like that's a good problem to have. At least give yourself options, especially in a good quarterback class. Any update on JJ? As far as I know, he says God is good, I think, he had the prayer hands up and then something else. So I think he's okay. You can't play to lose when you're losing. This is also true. Michael Hyde, yo, what's up? That's Seahawks logo. Nice to have you in here. He is not there anymore if you are talking about Nico. Is that what V-Man is talking about? Are you talking about IMPLODE? The kid from was at Tennessee, now at UCLA. I think that's what you're referring to. Nobody works harder than a Latino. I mean, hopefully, you draft anyone and they're going to bust their tail for you. Aguilar is not the prospect on Tennessee that the Jets should be looking at. Chris Brazil, the guy they should be looking at. T. Higgins 2.0. Jets definitely need a wide receiver number 2. If the Jets wanted to go like a top-end receiver at the top of the draft and then go quarterback towards the end of the first, like trade back in, I could be cool with that. Aaron Rodgers' contract is 2 to 3 players, and there is a 5 to 6 gap in impact players with the Jets and most top teams. Yeah, when you have a bunch of dead cap like the Jets have this year, you're just going to be missing a portion of your playmakers from your roster because you don't have the ability to sign certain players. Now, who are those players the Jets would have signed that would have been impact players? I don't know. There may not have been many out there this year. But that doesn't mean, maybe last year we couldn't have had a few people that we couldn't have done because we had the Rodgers contract. There's a whole butterfly effect that happens in here. Anthony T. should have signed Clowney and cut Clemens. Maybe it was they might have been thinking of it as an evaluation year and don't want to spend the money. I do agree with you. I think Clowney and Zadarius Smith are 2 guys that should have been on this roster instead of Clemens, but they both sort of encapsulate something similar in that they would have been a 1-year contract, not on the team beyond this year, and I'd rather see guys that could be here long-term than guys that I know are only going to be a 1-year stopgap. So my tune has changed a little bit on the Clowney, Zadarius Smith front. I think both guys have now signed with different teams. I thought I saw Clowney sign today or yesterday. Let's see. Sorry, my browser just decided to hate me real quick. Let's get some of your comments back up here. Aaron says, the problem is Glenn. Believe he can coach anyone. But when you have a guy make the same mistakes every time, they're not good. Yep. That's Clemens. Get him off. Toss him. Chris. Hey, Ryan. Everyone, go Jets. Hope all is well. Like, support, subscribe to the channel. Ryan deserves A+. Great content creator. What a guy. Thank you, Chris. Good dude. Hit that like button if you enjoy the content. It's totally free. Doesn't cost you a dime. Look at all his thumbs up. It's a good guy, Chris. Poorly executed and bad plays. I mean, there were guys open. I definitely saw Fields miss opportunities. All right, let me do this. I'm going to open up the call-in line if you'd like to call in. I'm only going to do this for a little bit, maybe to 9:30 or so. So if you want to call in, let me get this pinned in the live chat. All right, let me pin this here. All right, pinned comment in the live chat if you would like to call in. You get 3 minutes on the clock. After 3 minutes, I eject your ass from the cockpit. We've got our buddy Mike and then Cameron both calling in. Let's go over to Mike first. Mike, how you doing, dude? Nope, that's the wrong button. Give me a second. Pause. Hold on. Sorry. What am I doing here? Why does this do this every friggin' time? Let's try this. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. You hear me all right? Making sure?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Honestly, it's 2 weeks in.
Mm.
This isn't Aaron Glenn's team yet. This is the accumulation of 5 years of dog shit of Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas. Like, what were we expecting? Like, you guys expecting to have a Super Bowl fucking team week 2? You guys, Justin Fields has been on 3 teams in 5 years. Do you really think he's a good quarterback? If he was so fucking good after week 1, he would be on a Hall of Fame team. Pittsburgh wouldn't have left him, you idiots. So yeah, no shit, he's not that good. No shit, we don't have any wide receivers. We're not a good team. You want Glenn fired? Go fuck yourself. I have to watch Adam Gase. 2 weeks. You have to give him time. You guys gave him 1 offseason and 1 draft where they took a fucking offensive lineman. And by the way, AVT got hurt. It's only fucking, we don't have our sole offense. You guys are stupid. You're stupid. You want us to run with Josh Myers, one of the shittiest centers? They can't even play Alan Lazard because he sucks. Aaron Glenn did more in his 2 months by just getting rid of Gibson. I know it was like a week too late, but at least he fucking did it because Saleh couldn't. He couldn't. Michael Clemens sucks, we know that, but they didn't want to bring in a veteran because he's on a cheap deal and they want to see if it could work. They should try to trade Lazard if they're not going to use him at all, because what's going to happen next week is, just to break my heart, they're going to throw the game-winning touchdown to Lazard. It's going to bounce off his fucking chest because he's got little T-Rex arms, and it's going to get intercepted, and I'm going to cry, and then Lazard's going to get cut or traded, and I'll be like, why couldn't we do this before? Because every fucking week is one of Saleh's guys who fucks us. It was Clemens who was drafted by Joe Douglas, not Moogie. This is Saleh and Douglas' team still. It takes 3 years to build a team. 3. You guys are getting 2 fucking weeks. Get off your dicks. We're supposed to win 5 games this year. I understand Pittsburgh sucked because we really wanted to win that game, and I was really big on that because I hate Rodgers, and I was like, we need to because it's going to set the tone for the whole season, and it did. And then we have a bad game against Buffalo because Buffalo's just going to kill us because they're actually a good team. It's going to happen. But this just hurts. It hurts that we're already killing a regime who has no fucking talent besides Garrett Wilson. That sucks. That really sucks. Really disappointed that we got blown out. That blows. But, like, what were we, come on. It takes time. I shouldn't be one saying this. Also, before I go, you take a quarterback in the first fucking round, you sit behind Fields next year on his contract, and you let him fucking develop. That's what you do. Stop saying don't take a quarterback when Fields is dog shit and Tyron can't make it past 2 games. Oh my God, why am I the only one with a brain? You know I'm right.
You're out of here. Oh, God, Mike, that was fantastic. Cameron, I accidentally clicked out on you, so call back in. I got Cameron, then V-Man calling in. Got JMO in the chat, says, overreaction week 1, overreaction week 2. You see, I had my expectations set appropriately. And then they over-the-topped week 1, and I was like, I'm back in. You've sucked me back in. I am ready to go win a Super Bowl. Like, that's where we're headed. I'm like, taking off, baby. Take flight. And then this week happens, and I'm like, fire everyone. Smack their mothers. I hate them all. It just pisses me off. You're not wrong. Overreaction week 1. Overreaction week 2. All right, let's go over to Cameron. Cameron, how you doing, dude?
How the hell do I always end up after that guy? Jesus.
Lots of energy. What were your
swear
thoughts?
you planned it that way.
I did not. He must have seen me say, I'm gonna go to phones, and was like clicking the button as I was doing it. He's got it saved.
Well, hello from Cape May, by the way.
Hello, hello. A little vacation action for you there. Nice.
Yeah, I was at the game on Sunday. Not the game to go to. We flew in, went to that, and now we're down in Cape May.
Oh, very cool. That's cool. Well, from your vantage point in the stadium, were you able to at least throw up, like, off the top bar?
Yeah, there's a trash can nearby.
Like, oh, it was terrible. It was absolutely awful. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah. I mean, I said to my dad going in, I'm like, they're going to score 60 on us. That was my fear because I saw what Buffalo did to the Ravens. I was like, I wasn't expecting much, but I also wasn't expecting Justin Fields to play like the Bears Justin Fields. What I saw in week 1 gave me hope. I was like, you know what? Maybe he learned something this offseason. Maybe he's gotten a little more accurate, more comfortable in the pocket. I'm like, okay, you know what? If this is where we're going, that's okay. And then he kept looking at the rush, and he kept backing up when he shouldn't. And he was, and he's throwing balls at 100 miles an hour when a guy's 2 feet in front of him. And I'm like, this is what he's been his entire career. And I was like, you know what? I thought we worked this out of you. And then we couldn't run the ball because they had nothing else to key on. And the defense to me so far has been disappointing. I mean, I know it's Steve Wilkes' defense, but I'd like to see what Aaron Glenn could do. I know he says, I'm a head coach. I'm not like a defensive coordinator, but it's like, this is what you put your hat on. This is what got you the job. So, take it over and do something about it, because guys were not in the right spots. I mean, we have the best vantage point, but you could just see that even the guys that Josh Allen wasn't hitting, people were just running open on most plays. And it's disappointing considering, he's like, we're going to work on integrity. We're going to work on no penalties and toughness. And they didn't have any of that on Sunday. Maybe it's just Buffalo, but Tampa Bay's no easier. Coming up, I'm watching them tonight.
Yep.
They're also going to push the ball. And what are we going to do at that point?
Yeah, I don't have any faith in this team until they can actually play consistently. No. And even, you mentioned it defensively. We had a ton of missed tackles. We had 10 missed tackles. That tells me guys are not, like, doing their job on top of, just the play calling in general. Do I want to see Aaron Glenn take back play calling responsibilities? Probably not yet. I'd probably give it another 2 weeks. If it still looks bad, then yeah, I'm cool with moving off and saying, all right, Wilkes, let's let Glenn take the reins for a little bit and see where it goes from there. Cameron, thanks so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. You guys know him. Got all our same callers. Great. Got V-Man joining the chat. V-Man, how you doing, dude?
What's up? How you doing?
Dude, another day, another Jet loss.
That was a stinker. I never saw one.
Yeah, I thought after week 1, I was like, at least I'm going to be entertained all season. And then we saw essentially what we've seen the last 5, 10, 15 years from the Jets, where just we come out flat.
I should have known better because it's the Steelers. They're always overrated going into this. They're always overrated. And you look at the fact they got their ass kicked by the Seahawks. So who looked like absolute garbage week 1.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes to show you that, like I said, like what, like, and I was thinking about it, did they look good week 1 because they were good, or was it because the Steelers' defense was that bad?
There is a little bit of smoke and mirrors because I agree with you. I think the Steelers are not going to be as good as everyone predicted them. I thought the Jets had a really good shot at winning week 1 prior to seeing how they played. And I definitely was hoping they were as good as other people thought the Steelers would be, and it wasn't smoke and mirrors. The Bills obviously are a very, very good team, and the Jets looked the caliber we expected.
The Bills are the cream of the crop of the NFL.
Yes.
They're in that upper echelon tier of NFL teams. You know, they're there with the Eagles. They're there with Baltimore, you know, and so on and so on. You know, the Steelers are like that middling. The Steelers are like the definition of a middling team. They're not terrible enough to, you know, get that the top end draft picks, but they're not good enough to legitimately compete. That's why they've constantly gone one and done in the playoffs since 2018. You know, it's frustrating, but we got to relax, take a deep breath. It's a new regime. We need to really give them a couple off seasons to really, you know, put their blueprint on this organization. If you know what I mean.
Sure. Yeah, it takes a while. It takes if the roster on average flips over 30% each year, it's really not until year 3, year 4 where you're really seeing an overly where you're seeing their real footprint. Like right now, you're seeing some little traces of things, but a lot of these players were here prior to them arriving, so it's not a full definitive, you know, regime change just yet. Now, there's things we could take away from it. Okay, were the guys in the right position? Did the offensive coordinator look pretty good? I still like 𝐂𝐟𝐟𝐥𝐢𝐸. I still think that was the best hire this cycle for us. I like Glenn. I just hope his message doesn't get stale from like, oh, you know, we're gonna solve this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then it, you know, by the end, you're beating a dead horse. V-Man, any last words?
Well, you know what? Let's take a deep breath. You know. Let's hope God we beat Tampa, and then after that we have the clown show that is the Dolphins. So what? Worst case scenario, we're going to be 1-3 because I can't see any realistic universe where we lose to the sea mammals.
Dude, from your lips to God's ears, V-Man, thank you so much for the call. Been ejected from the cockpit. Always a pleasure talking to V-Man and Cameron and Mike. Mike said he was out on the Jets last year, and he's just like, I'm literally gonna have high blood pressure. This is what's gonna happen. And then they sucked him back in. They were like, I want Mike back. And then Mike is already blowing his gasket week 2. I love it. I really got to start. I got to try and get some custom lead-ins for some of our regulars calling in. Get some of the clips put together. That involves me spending a little more time than I have currently. But like some of the blow-ups from Mike, I feel like would be pretty funny. Be kind of nice. We'll see if I can eventually get that put together at some point. Kev says, if Brees keeps building his stock up, we need to trade him when playoff team loses their running back. We can't extend everyone in his class. I love Brees. I think he is absolutely a player you could hold on to. Depending on what he's looking to do and what you're looking to get in a trade. Like if you have an opportunity to get a 2nd, 3rd round pick, even if you have to toss in another pick to make it elevate to that threshold, I think you probably trade him. If you're getting like a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, or something along that, I'd rather try to retain him and just be like, hey, look, you're part of the solution. You're not part of the problem. We're going to have $80 million next offseason. We're not going to spend it all on free agents. Like I would like to retain John Simpson. AVT is going to be walking. If you deem you want to extend either JJ or Will McDonald, you can. But there's no guarantee that you're going to need to re-sign them going into year 5 for JJ and year 4 for Will McDonald. You can let them play out an additional season if you wanted to. I don't know. I'm sort of on this weird fence with Brees. High enough pick, yes, move him if he's not going to hang around here. Honestly, if you're not going to have him, like if there's already no thought of wanting to extend him, then yeah, you trade him for whatever you can get. It's shitty, but that's what you would, should probably do. I just want to have the belief that they might want to retain him because he is an elite player in this league. Or at least I think he is. Isaac, Jets are going to do that Jets thing where they beat a solid Tampa Bay team next week. Gives us hope only to get obliterated by the Finns the following week. That is so Jets. That is so Jets. We're going to see like the Bucs play really well tonight. We're going to be like, oh, we don't give them a shot at all. And then we're going to kick the doors down. We're going to respond after a week of terrible play versus Buffalo. We're going to respond and then we're going to be high as a kite. And then they're going to come crashing back down, and Miami's going to figure out how to play football again. And it's going to be against the Jets. I would say it's probably spot on, Isaac. What's up, David? Good morning, Ryan. Buddy least said sad about Sunday's games. The best we were garbage, but I'm not ready to throw in the towel yet. Dude, I'm not ready to throw in the towel either. I'm setting my expectations to be reasonable. I think we're probably going to be a bad team. I think we're going to have an opportunity to wow teams and surprise teams at other points. But I do think that the Jets... Oh, no, Baker. Oh, he's walking. Oh, man, I thought Baker went down. Oof. I never want to see a dude get hurt, even if we're playing him next week. I like me some Baker. Michael says, yeah, I'm a Hawks fan. Just want to pop in and say I respect the hell out of you guys for still being Jets fans with all the shit you guys go through. You know what? I'm not pulling for the Seahawks, but I like seeing Sammy Boy do well. So I'm hoping you guys have a little bit of success over there. Ryder and Talents. Pa tuned in for the Mike moment a little bit ago. Yeah, it was chaos. Imagine if we traded up to get quarterback Stroud instead of going for Rodgers. I mean, imagine if we just signed Baker during that offseason. You sign Baker, you probably do really well. Baker was the best decision you could have made that year. Jets were in need of... What was that year? That was the year we had Will McDonald drafted. What would it have taken you to get up to number 2? That's really what it comes down to, right? Because Bryce Young was 1. I don't think the Texans were trading out of that pick. Was it the Texans that traded out? Or did the Texans... I think the Texans had their pick and then traded up again for the next pick after them to get the edge rusher from Alabama, who's Anderson? Is that the right name? I feel like I'm blanking on it right now. I don't know if Stroud has the same success here with Hackett. Mixed martial autist. Hey, Ryan. Hope you had a nice Monday. How long until Aaron Glenn takes over play calling for defensive plays? I would like to wait a little bit. Because I feel like that's one of those things you sort of pull as like a last resort type move. And I don't think 2 games in is where we're at right now. Like right now, I'm looking more at individual players. Like when you have 10 missed tackles, that's not on the play calling. That's on the players. When you have Brandon Stevens just giving up on plays, or Michael Clemens causing stupid penalties, that's not on coaching. Aside from like keeping them out there, I'd like to see more Malachi Moore with Adams being hurt. I'd like to see more Stiggers or AZ Thomas or something out there. I'm fine with cutting Clemens. I'd love to see that tomorrow. But I would like to hold off on pulling Wilkes' play calling responsibility. I think I was saying, at the earliest week 4, but honestly, like maybe at the trade deadline, you say like, okay, look, it's clearly not working. This is just an evaluation year, so I don't really want to like go crazy when he's realistically probably going to be our DC for next year too. Heard Steve Wilkes was out of work for a reason. I mean, maybe. I didn't really have any strong thoughts on defensive coordinator this offseason. I was hoping we'd see a little bit, obviously the Flores-McCown thing was an interesting combination. I like Glenn and Tanner. If Glenn feels he can call the defense at some point, That's fine. I think most of us wanted to see him be more of a like a CEO style head coach. Man, Baker not having a very nice day about it. Fumbled again. Who got cracked? Someone got cracked because of that fumble. Fields out. T-Rod is made of glass. What if T-Rod balls out and Fields is another quarterback controversy? Well, it is what it is at this point, right? Like if Tyrod looks like he's moving the ball well, and you can evaluate the rest of the offense, and you say, okay, Tanner Engstrand is a net positive. We really like what we have out of him. Oh, guess what? Arian Smith looks better now. Oh, the offensive line is blocking better. The running game is looking better. Then, okay, you know that Fields is a problem. And you know that you're going to have to draft a quarterback. I think that's fine. Now, obviously, because of the money we put into Fields, having Garrett and Ruckert and Myers here, I think you probably do go back to Fields at some point. Tyrod would really have to play well, I think, to make that more of a permanent change. David says, if we could just cut out all the mistakes we've made, we should be 1-1 right now instead of 0-2. Yeah, I mean, you don't fumble that Gibson play. The Jets probably win week 1. I don't think there's any way we were winning yesterday, but brutal. Definitely cut Clemens, but then what? Barron, McGregor? Yeah, honestly, I don't care who it is outside of Clemens. Clemens isn't going to be here in 2026. Barron and McGregor might be. Barron, we just drafted this year. McGregor, does he have 2 years left on his deal? I think he's got 2 years. Like this year plus one more. I would rather see that. I'd rather give them more meaningful reps and see if they can do anything, because then maybe that saves you from signing a rotational edge rusher at some point. Yeah, I'm fine with seeing what they have to play. Should they at least cut playing time, if not cut him altogether? Talking about Clemens, yes, should definitely cut his playing time. We literally could see AG cut a player every week. Shake my head. I mean, Gibson and Clemens are like non-issues for most fans. Neither one of those players were players we wanted to see on this team. And I think at least you can keep saying, hey, this is accountability. This is what accountability looks like. This is what accountability looks like. But then you got to start having guys play well. So you can't just cut Clemens and cut Gibson and then, oh, guess what? Maybe Fields has a bad game. You're not cutting him. Or you do like a bonehead thing, and oh, maybe Sauce blows a touchdown or something, or Quinn has himself a bad game. There's limits to what accountability look like. And it's those players that are fringe players that are like, all right, bonehead mistake, toss them. Everyone else is going to have a little bit more wiggle room. Tony, what a real team would do is start Cook and see what you have as a backup with potential. Bring up Skinner and Smith, use Garrett Wilson, Smith, Skinner, Ruckert, Taylor, and see if anyone steps up. I think because of how much money they gave Fields, unless he's like seriously hurt for a longer bit of time, I think they're going to give the team an opportunity to win, and I think Tyrod is the best opportunity to do that. Now, when the season's lost, if you want to, say you pull the plug on, Fields and you want to let Cook play for a little bit, okay, that's fine. I would be surprised if they did that, especially with Fields under contract for next year. I don't think there's any world where I believe Cook is the best chance to win. Maybe he's a backup quarterback long-term. That would be great. Jay Sanchez. Go Jets. Sorry, it's only 1 year. Don't lose hope. Or it's only year one. Don't lose hope. But yeah, look, I'm not calling for any heads to roll. How many more blowout losses do you need to see before you lose confidence in the coaching staff? I don't think there's anything this year that would stick long-term. I'd probably have to see it roll into next year too. Everything's graded on a sliding scale depending on where expectations are. Expectations were pretty low this year coming into it. I think they got a lot higher after week one, and then obviously it changed again after yesterday's game. So I'm curious to see where that all kind of shakes out. All right, boys and girls, been a lot of fun hanging out with you. I'm going to watch the end of this Texans-Bucks game, see where this sort of plays out, and then I'm going to watch the second Monday night game. I'm going to enjoy some football because I did not enjoy the football I watched yesterday. I'm sure I'm not alone in that. Boys and girls, again, if you would like to support the show, please support the sponsor of our show, Sleeper. Use code JetsTalk. Get a 100% match up to $100 when you sign up for Sleeper. We've had a really good time with it. We actually have our Pick'em League through Talking Jets on Sleeper as well. Let me see. I'm curious to see how I did on this one. I did not pick our Jets to win, by the way, in the Pick'em League. Let's see. The pool. So I'm sitting at 21 correct. So I'm tied for 34th right now. 35 Shade and Boba Jet are our top 2 people in it, with 26 wins total across the first 2 weeks of the season. Dick Chimney's Burner comes in 4th. Mark OBH, I can't read the rest of the name, doing all right. Let's see where O'Leary's at 24. He's got 3 games on me. We got 144 people in here. I don't think everyone's participating in it, but there's a few people that got 13 wins this week. Who are the top people for week 2? Top people for week 2. Can I filter by week 2? I don't know if I can filter by week 2. Yeah, so it looks like there were a bunch of people with 13. Actually, B Bills had 14. I would imagine that's probably going to be the highest. 14's a lot to get and pick them. Yeah. So 13 with B Bills getting 14 as the top guy for week 2. Excited to see where this plays out. I have fun with the pick'em. So if you guys are into the pick'em, definitely join it. I think we're going week by week, so I'll try to let people know the winners as we go throughout the season. Boys and girls, thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out. This is Jets Talk signing off. JETS.